This is after Abraham bowed down. And he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, If you will give it, please hear me. I will give you money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, My Lord, listen to me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between you and me? So bury your dead. And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out the silver for Ephron, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, currency of the merchants.
And there we have the completion of the transaction. But again, till the very end, it's very ceremonial. It's a dance. Like, if so, then let it be. Take it. Let me pay for it. How much you want? What's $400? What's $400 between friends? What's 400 pieces of silver between friends? Nothing. All right, here's 400. Thank you very much.
And so you mentioned this when we were talking off camera. The price of this land and how much it, 400 pieces of silver compared to the price of a bride being 50 pieces of silver. And I was saying, well, you're going to use this cave forever. Your family will use this cave forever and ever. So that's, throughout the generations. It's not like a one-time thing like a bride, not making them any less valuable, but your bride is with you for life, and that's it. But the land that you're buying is with generations.
Yeah.
Many. But you were, if I could remember what you said, but you might remember what you had said about that difference.
Yeah, it's it's at the edge of his field, it says, right? And that's going to be, I guess, one of the key things, right? Because the assumption is Ephron's an alien. He's probably the first generation. That's why Abraham's singling him out versus anybody else that might be a resident alien there. So that he might have known that specific cave, the cave of Machpelah, was empty. It hadn't been used for burial before. It's pristine. That adds some value to it, right? Because if it was used, can't really use it again. Like, that would be highly disrespectful and would cause some trouble again.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember, and I didn't have a chance to look it up. What David paid for the what would
Temple
later
Mount.
what would become the Temple Mount, because that was a threshing floor, and it was surrounded by because he bought the whole land where the wheat or whatever was grown, wheat and barley and whatever. So there's fertile land plus a facility where, loosely using the word facility, where he can process the wheat and stuff. One would expect that to be just like now, right? Real estate is what? Location, location, location,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm buying a piece of land for its productive power, I'm going to pay a lot more for that. But if I'm buying it just as a burial site, no productive value to it, then why am I paying so much? Because 400 pieces of silver is a lot of money. Again, one could say, well, especially then, land was expensive because land is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's making more of it even now. And today, people buy and sell land speculatively. Back then, not so much. So it was a final investment. So I guess one would expect it to be more expensive. But like you said, when a person's bride price is 20 to 50 shekels. 400 for a piece of land that's not going to produce anything for you just struck me as very expensive. So it's kind of like Ephron saying, "All right, well, I didn't really want to sell this place. It is a nice cave that I prepared for myself and my family when I die, when they pass away. And you put me in this awkward spot where I can't really refuse, because if I do, then I'm going to have problems with the townsfolk. And and you are clearly able to pay this price."
That was another thing. He knew Abraham had the money,
You know,
probably pocket change.
you have me by the family jewels. Well, I also have you by the family jewels. So how about we unclench our fists and make this thing happen? You got to pay.
Okay. Let us finish out this. Verse 17. So the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within the surrounding borders, were deeded to Abraham as a possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that is in it were deeded to Abraham by the sons of Heth as property for a burial place. That word Machpelah, is
Yeah.
that
Machpelah?
okay?
Yeah.
It was killing me.
They're tongue twisters. But you know what I noticed? In verse 7, verse 17, the very first sentence, second half of it, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave. So he got the field with it. So that also helps explain why it was so much. So it's not exactly completely a ripoff.
Okay.
Plus, it has timber. And if we know anything about this geography, especially at this time, timber is hard to come by. You usually have to import it, which makes it a lot more expensive too. So, you know, he actually gave Abraham a pretty decent deal. It wasn't too much, but still, I still think he paid probably more than it was fully worth, but still, it's not entirely a ripoff.
Well, supply and demand.
Supply and demand. That's why capitalism is the best. It's the oldest, and if something ain't broke, don't fix it. Yes, I will take every chance I can get to dig at Karl Marx and communism.